Hello. Recently, I have been obsessed with Dead Gods by Matt Rhodes. Rhodos? It's spelled like the island. I have been binge watching his videos, and when the comic book series comes out, I will buy it. But that is not the reason I am making this video. The reason is, well, you read the title. There was a series of videos where he redesigned the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse to fit his setting, and I thought that was such a cool idea that I should give it a try. Not for any setting specifically, but for me, as a person, how I would interpret them based on the society I live in and the mind that I have, for a lack of better term. Keep in mind that I am not an artist, at least not one who draws. I'm a writer. I think that is an art as well. So my drawing skills would be terrible. But if AI slop can pass as acceptable these days, I think my drawings can also do that. So I'm okay with sharing them. Also, I did not record my process. I drew on paper. I tried digital, but it's not really my thing. If that's an issue to you, just imagine the drawing being done in fast forward while I'm narrating. Otherwise, you'll just see the final product. So without further ado, let's begin. So the first one is Conquest, and I know I am media build, I'm an NPC after all, but when I hear the term Conquest as a person's name, I think of the guy from Invincible. So that's how I drew him. But he's not just that conquest, he is also the thing that I believe has conquered today's world and the world I live in. Stupidity. You can tell by the stupid hat that he wears, I'm not sure how it is pronounced. Dance? Dance? That conical head that you often see in old cartoons, as is the mask that he is wearing, not covering any parts of his face, just because this is what everyone says he should do, and very reluctantly does so. I wasn't sure what I should do with the bow that he was holding, so I just implemented it in his hand gauntlet thing. The horse he is riding is a guy on a white unicorn mask. I wanted it to look stupid as well, and that looks kinda stupid, let's be real. But it is also inspired by Conquest from Dead Gods, because his horse was also fake and he was actually carried around by people. Fun fact, drawing a person carrying another person on his back is really hard, especially for someone who has never done it before. I figured it out the hard way. The second horseman is of course War, on the red horse, or the red outline horse, because I forgot to fill it in when I was making it. Oh well, I think it looks really good either way to me, so I don't mind, I guess. Once again, showing how media build I am, it is based on the war machines, the tripods, from War of the Worlds. The 2002, 2003, I think it was, version, which is the one I saw as a child and loved, and the one that has stuck with me the most. The sword, once again, I didn't know how to implement, so I just made it a sword-shaped drone, which communicates with the tripod thanks to all those antennae that you see. The screens are meant to represent propaganda. I was going to put a classic dictator face in the middle one, but I thought just writing the phrase was funnier and it allowed people to fill it in with whoever they want. And the two others that say, war on this, war on that, are of course a reference to Fox News. I remember I saw a compilation, I'm not sure if I can find it now, that it was all the times the news reporters on Fox said, war on blank. Could be video games, could be media, could be epidemics, could be anything. It was their go-to. I was gonna compare them to Klingons, but they are actually honorable, so scratch that. And you will also notice that one of its legs is forward. It is a distant war, but it is approaching, which is, let's just say, relevant to the situation I believe I find myself within, if the people around me are anything to go by. The third horseman on the black horse is famine, and this one is one I actually wanted to draw and came up with before I saw the Dead Gods series and interpretation. I once made a story that was basically the Divine Comedy with me as the main character, and everything was shaped around how I will perceive hell and the other afterlives which I didn't get into because I haven't finished it. One of those was famine, which was me trying to overcome the sin of gluttony, and the famine I interpreted was diet, essentially. The closest thing my fat privileged self has ever experienced to famine. You will notice that the scale that Horseman is holding isn't a grain scale, but a scale for humans, one that weighs you instead of your food. And instead of counting the denarius of wheat and barley, it counts the grams, which is how much you are supposed to eat in order to lose weight. Not touching wine and oil is both because of dietary reasons and because I wanted to make a reference to the quote from Revelation. And of course, the horse that he's riding on is a. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm not sure if I can even call it what I want to call it. I know it's not that thing, and I know I'm not supposed to name the thing it's supposed to not be, but I'm not sure if I have any actual name for it. So let's just call it antlered forest scary monster that you often see in movies and media thing, until we find a better name. Working title. Finally, the fourth horseman is death. How I would interpret death, anyway. They say that the horse he rides on is pale, which I didn't know what kind of pale they meant. I assume it was like grey or something. But they most often consider it pale green, which is why I used that color, closest thing I could find. The lines you see around it are my best attempt at indicating the ground. This horse is dead. It's not just a skeletal, dehydrated, undead looking thing. It's a dead horse. The rider, the horseman, death, is basically nothing, as in the empty void of nothingness that I fear awaits me, which is the scariest version of death and the one I hope isn't the real one, because that would be terrifying. It's terrifying for me right now, and I'm not even experiencing it. Should I ever come to that point, it would be the worst thing ever. Which is why I believe in an afterlife, because I want to. I didn't know how to depict the empty void of nothingness though. Thought I would maybe make it a black hole or create some kind of perspective to make it look like it is a hole, or maybe like just fill it all completely black and make it look 2D. But then I had a better idea. Just remove the paper completely. Yes, that is a hole, an actual hole that you see, like on the paper. That stuff that you see through is my desk. I cut it. which is about as good of an interpretation as I can make it. And yeah, I'm proud of how it came out. I'm proud of all of those, in fact, which is why I'm sharing it with people. And if you want to give it a try yourselves, sure, why not? I would love to see your interpretations. Maybe we can make it a meme, like the upwards looking Freyren meme, which I was also a big fan of. So yeah, I will try to draw more. I don't know if you like it or not, but I certainly like doing it from time to time. And it will help me present the worlds I have made and the stories I have made better in video form. So this was kind of a let's see how it goes idea. See you whenever I upload again, and goodbye.